Hello, everyone. We're back with Late Night X-Wing with Snipes, and we got a fun match tonight. It's just Andrew versus Sevwall, just a for fun match. This isn't for anything, but I thought, why not? They're both great players. We get to see a fun match. It's a win-win. We are playing Chance Engagement as well, so should be a fun time. On Andrew's side, we have Luke Skywalker with R4 and Afterburners. Yendor, the SL, he has It's a Trap, Plasma Torps, and Stabilizing Astromech, which once per game you can then spend the charge to perform a white action even while stressed. So it's a better contraband. Ahsoka is here with Instinctive Aim, Extreme Maneuvers, Concussion Missiles, and Muni Failsafe. And then finally, we have Benthic with Perceptive Copilot and Jyn Erso. On Sevwall's side, we have a little bit of a off-meta list. We have Planetary Sentinel with Ion Bombs, Captain Farroff with Emperor Palpatine and Targeting Computer, Duchess with Ion Bombs, Afterburners, Targeting Computer, and Elusive, and then Colonel Jendon. No Escape, Push Limits, the Proton Cannon, and Computer Assisted Handling. And both respective players have put their ships on the opposite sides from each other, on the opposite corners from each other. They will be making donuts until some time. Yeah, we got the late night stream. Andrew versus Seville. I mean, these guys are awesome. Appreciate that they let me even do this. They're not scared. So yeah, we all get to watch a little bit of X-Wing before we all head to bed. I had to guess Jendon's gonna try her best to chase down Luke this coming turn. Went hard by the Planetary Sentinel. Ooh, rotate by Benthic. They might be turning back in then. Yeah, I don't know where he put SL Vendor. I would have liked to see that on stream because I missed the 3-1-2 because I was in the middle of a match. And I only heard about how nasty that list was. I didn't actually get to see it. Luke with a 4 straight. Probably will see a boost. Can't imagine he wants to get in range of Jendon. If she does the 5 straight, she can just target lock boost, target lock focus if she's in range. Just takes the focus. And we'll turn it into an evade with Jyn Erso. Because I believe Jyn Erso reads, yeah, 0 to 3. Yendor will bank in and roll, focus. That will mean he gets center objective this turn as well. Soka going fast. Might see her just stay there. You know Faroff is going to come towards you this following turn, and you don't exactly want to jump straight interface. Exactly, Desi's got it. He's the GOAT. It's Andrew from Order 66. It did not save. Neither of the things saved that I told them to save. Here we go. Order 66, save. Maybe it'll save this time. And Wolfpack. Yazub loves forcing the change to just say Rebel Alliance or Empire, or whatever the faction it is that they are, instead of actually just keeping it at what I told it to. Well, this is the Order 66 captain, so he is the GOAT. That was a fast move by Duchess. I hope you're not bumping with Jendon. Might want to roll out of the way. He could be. Could be, Desi. There's the 5 straights. We could see a boost left that would give Bullseye, and you could get the 5 dice HLC into Yendor. And Snites with End Sniper. That's I might have to make that a thing. Jenda did do the boost with the charge once per game, took the focus and lock. So this will be a 5 dice proton cannon, range 3. Jeez, that is a really good shot. Endor will escape 2 of them, but he will take a crit under the shields. And the crit is disabled power regulator. Uh-oh. That's not good for him. It's going to be ionized starting right now, and the following turns, I don't know what he's going to do. We'll shoot back at Jendon. This still could be a good shot at Jendon, because he does get this Drain 4 reroll. Doesn't need it. Right? You know how, oh, he spent focus. Okay. Didn't take the strain to reroll, and Jendon will roll out of it. Yeah, these X-Wings are made from pudding. Yendor most likely will be alive for this turn. The issue I see coming at after this is, I think if he does the 1 bank right here, I think the 5 straight by Colonel Jendon fits. Otherwise, Jendon can 3 hard up this way, and then go after Ahsoka. Ooh, that's a good point. Ahsoka can coordinate. I think the 3 bank this way should fit by Jendon, and you could do the roll evade this way. And then even if he does the 1 bank, he won't be able to get a shot on you. Because I don't think Ahsoka would expect that and coordinate him anything other than like a focus or evade. And Benthic isn't in the best position to bank in either. Because this 2 bank might put him a little close to the rock. Luke's in a decent spot to turn in though and lock Jindin. You are right there, but I think if Jindin doesn't go fast, everybody's going to turn in on her. And I don't know that she'll be able to live, or at least not get half pointed as well. I think your best bet is just to get the fuck out of there and then turn back in the long way. Either do the 5 straight or the 3 hard left or 3 bank left and try and roll evade. On turn 3, Sevwall is first player this time. So Planetary Sentinel coming in. Ooh, the 2 bank does fit. I think that was the 2 bank. Yep. Nice. So we'll focus and probably give Yendor the evade. Yeah, I'm not really sure what they were thinking when they dropped the B-Wing specifically. But Jindin, while very, very good, still feels capable to kill because she doesn't get the evade at least. But I can understand why you wouldn't have as much fun with her existing. Because she isn't, we can all be honest, she isn't fun to fight. Oh yeah, with 5 Edas, that's definitely not fun. Especially since they can drop the proton bombs and ion bombs out the side. Oh no, Luke! Takes the damage on the self bump and stresses himself. Sevwall being a monster and not letting him change the dial. This is for fun game, Sev. How could you do this? Yeah, I love Adas too, Desi. I used to fly them all the time, and then the meta just changed so much to where they weren't. The double reposition while activating just became so much more important because of the initiative being jacked up, and then also their health is just so low. And even with the deltas, like the regular deltas versus the Adas, they at least have the shield. And Republic in general now has just felt very weak overall. Ooh, 3 bank does bump. So close. Might have thrown himself onto the rock if he had fit. I don't think so. But that's not good. It's a little scary for Jindin. It's taking the strain focus. It would be stress focus, but with her ability, when she does a red action, if she's not already strained, she can take a strain. Yeah, I think there's way too many ships now, Billy, that just automatically get double mods, and I think Seeker missiles are just gonna make it that much worse. How did somebody get 4 dice? Oh, he spent his shield. He spent another shield to add it. Okay, that's half points on Ahsoka, though. 3 hits into Luke. Luke will roll out of most of it. Spends both force and will take a shield. Yeah, if Seekers are anything below 10, the X-Wing could potentially just be utterly meta destroyed for a little bit. And I only say that because it at the moment is already so double modded focused that giving people free double mods just by taking a lock, not thinking about who can actually take them, would be really bad. Now, we don't know their plans. We don't know who's going to be capable of taking them, but it does worry me. Out of all the upgrades, the Seekers are really the one that worries me. That is half points on Jendon. Did flip disabled power regulator again on Endor. Hit crit going into Jendon. We'll spend Palpatine. Yeah, seriously. Even if Midnight has no other upgrade, just taking that on her is insane. Barif will use the target lock reroll. Crit will go through on Ahsoka. Stunned pilot. The don't be bad at the game crit. 2 more hits into Jendon. Can't die, but might be left on 1. Is left on 1. Thankfully, Ahsoka can evade a range 3 shot through a rock. So Jendon is on 1 HP, and she's not in the best position to really go anywhere. I think if you're Jendon in this situation, you do the 1 hard right, because you know you're probably dying anyways, and it will give you the best possible shot onto either Luke or Benthic. And you can take the lock and then just use Palpatine. Yeah, Jendon only rolled out of one shot, and that was because she spent Palpatine. Every other shot did damage to her. But I mean, she's pumped a lot of damage. She's gotten damage on Yendor, she's gotten damage on Ahsoka, and Luke's damaged from Duchess. Yendor also took disabled power regulator again, so he's going to be pretty useless. Yeah, I think the 1 hard right is your best solution, because Benthic's going to do probably a stop to let Luke go over him. If contraband, you don't. The only other thing I could see Benthic doing is a 2 hard left to deal with Duchess, and then letting Luke bank in. Because I'm not sure. If you do the one straight, you might still be blocking Luke. Yeah, and I know we're talking about Midnight with Seeker Missiles, but Ahsoka will be a monster too with them, because then she can not only coordinate reliably every time, but then she can also just take the lock and still have it fully double modded more or less. And she gets 4 charges, so even if she doesn't like use it for the double modding, just using her force for the double modding, she still gets an extra shot then, instead of like how conks work currently. There's the too hard by Benthic. We'll focus evade. And throw one to Yendor. If I had to guess, Yendor is going to work. Okay, it's really close to whether that fits or not. Maybe he tried the too hard right. Yeah, exactly, Desi. Desi. Duchess bumping into Benthic. Oh no! I don't actually know if he's still on it or not. I think he is. I don't remember what the button is to zoom in. Is it Alt? Yeah. Oh, that's one of them. That's not good though. That is 2 more damage on Yendor. I don't know if he gets a shot. He did fully execute a maneuver, so he did use stabilizing astromech to get off the rock, even though he hit it and didn't get to do his perform action step. Luke banking in, takes an evade. Don't hate that decision. Nice move by Ahsoka too. She is still in range of that planetary sentinel. That is scary. Yeah, I was feeling that too earlier. Billy. My iPhone will do that to me all the time. It'll just take my words and try and auto-correct words that shouldn't be even said. Luke does fit the barrel roll focus. It was coordinated from Ahsoka. But now what that barrel roll did is Jendin can just boost to the right. Right? It seems like the best play. You take the boost to the right, and then you just have to live through Endor's shot, which is hard, but not impossible to do. It's 2 hits, you don't spend Palp here. 1 hit will go through on the U-Wing. Shooting at Luke. See, I'd shoot at Ahsoka here, not Luke, because she doesn't have an evade. But I guess you had the lock. Evade force. He's fine. Chooses to spend both force instead. Range 3 at Jendon is double modded with his ability. Takes the Ion. We'll take a strain to reroll the blank. Does get the hit. And Jendon will die. Got to turn one of the results into an eyeball because she's not shielded. Spends Palp here. Planetary Sentinel. Whew. 2 crits by Ahsoka. Spends his focus here. I don't blame him. Yeah, you just go all into Ahsoka here because you have a decent chance to kill her. It's out of that shot. Hit crit. Ahsoka will die. I forgot Benthic's shot, so he's taking that real quick. 2 hits into Duchess. She'll take 1. If you're Duchess, you probably expect Yendor to 1-bank right, no? Because this little guy can't turn right because he has to do the boost forward. It is a must on those guys. And then I'd almost expect Benthic to stop and just 180 rotate this way. So I'd almost choose to still do the 2 hard to the left. Because worst case you bump or get slightly past Yendor. And Benthic either way, whether he's looking to the left or backwards, won't have a shot on you. And then you can drop the Ion Bomb the following turn. Probably drop 1 this turn too, but don't hate the stop by fair off this turn instead of the 1-bank in. Because if Luke does a 1-bank, I don't know that you continue having a shot on him. You have Palpatine anyways, so. Sev is first player. We'll drop an Ion Bomb. It is 2 out of 8. You know, Billy, I don't know if you've seen this list, but I was toying around and I don't think it will get nerfed. I really don't. But you can put 3 Shadowcasters and an autopilot drone all into one list. It might actually be a little insane. Because they all have turrets. They all have enough crew, all for like force or like double calculates or whatever. And you get Ketsu with the tractor, and you just obliterate whatever's in front of you. Asajj Ventress with 2 force, Ahsoka or not Ahsoka, Sabine with the auto eye results. You just add them, and you get either the child or another crew on her. You see, I thought it might be, but it really didn't feel that way. Because you can put ablative on Asajj, and then Ahsoka, if you really feel like you need it too, you can put ablative on her, and then you can put Kira on Ketsu still, and have her be like the one that flies over the rocks, and the other two you just fly like normal big base ships. But they have an amazing dial, so 9 times out of 10 you will almost always have a maneuver that should fit through whatever you're trying to fly. Yeah, and I think the stop by bear off this turn would have been better than flying forward with the one bank, because now Luke has a shot on you. And he wouldn't have had you just stopped. Uh, is that obstructed? I mean, that might be obstructed. Who's shooting? Okay, that's Yendor shooting. 2 shields down on Baroth. 2 more damage going in. That'll be half points. Spend the force. Will be the end of Yendor, even with the evade spend. Our little planetary sentinel will have a nice range 0 shot onto Luke. For 1 hit. Gets out of it. So now the game really comes down to planetary sentinels versus Luke and Benthic. You could do the boost with Faroff into a 1 hard left. I think that should be fine. I would be worried about the 2 hard. 2 hard might... The 2 hard should fit, but I'd be worried that it would throw you on this obstacle right here. Yeah, you wouldn't be able to fit Jabba in that list. But what you can do with Sabine is you can do either the child, which is just as good, Or you can do IG88 or whatever, the calculating droid that gives you 2 calculates a turn. And then you can slap overtuned on her as well. If you feel like you're taking multiple shots, you can slap that down and then just get auto results. So even if you don't need it on defense, the calculates, but you're afraid that you're going to have too many, you can then still add the eyeball result and get rid of the token. And then you put lots Rotzi and hate onto Asajj, and it just makes her unkillable. And Ketsu, you can put Notorious on Ketsu at that point and just disincentivize people from shooting her, because if they do, your other ships are going to just annihilate them. One bank by Benthic. Just a stop by Faroff. A little worried that Luke just did like a 2 straight, but maybe he didn't. Just did the 1 straight. Yeah, that's gonna hurt. Takes the evade. Doesn't need it. I don't think Faroff has him in arc. It's close though. Luke range 1 into Faroff. That'll be 4 hits. We'll live to tell the tale on 1. Only 1 hit. No matter what, Luke is fine. Only 1 more hit. Benthic takes 3 eyes, so he's fine. I don't know why he wouldn't just spend the evade. Maybe it's so Faroff doesn't get her ability. That actually makes sense. Faroff with the natty. Sadly, it doesn't matter. Hit crit going into this U-wing. Spend the evade, take hit crit. That will be half points. The crit was direct. Down to 3. And then I believe Luke will be the only one at range 2 of the objective. Yep. 4 more points for Andrew. So, you know Benthic is either stopping, which would be really scary to do, and he's going to rotate somewhere, or he's going to too hard left and focus evade and just try and stay alive. Luke, you know, is just doing a straight, so I think what you should do is 1 straight or 1 bank and 1 hard back in. And then Duchess can do whatever is blue, which might be a 3 straight or whatever. But if you can get half on Luke, that would be 7 points, and that would put you at 45 and put you in the lead. I don't see a damage on Duchess. I thought she took one. I guess I'm wrong. I could have sworn she took one. Yeah, I thought she took 1 damage when Benthic shot. Was it Luke? Benthic or Luke shot a range 0, and she should have taken 1, but it's... I might have just missed it. Maybe she elusived and didn't see it. One min pause. Sevwall might be just dealing with some family stuff real quick. So we'll just be a second. On the other hand, do hope everybody's night is going well. Did a lot of writing today myself. Had a paper to do and also did some of the XWA lead stuff. A lot of questions being answered. I do think that if Sevwall can keep Duchess in the fight though with like a 3 straight roll and do even 1 damage to Luke, I think that sets him up very nicely to win the game. Because even if he gets half pointed on one of his other ships, as long as he kills something or prevents half points on his own ships, then he should win the game. That's a good question. I think generics might get nerfed a little bit, but I think there will be a few that do remain staples, like the TIE fighters. I could imagine those remaining, specifically the scum ones. I could see those remaining as staples in lists. I don't know about TIE swarms because I don't know what XWA plans for that, but it will be interesting. And they're back. I do think that there is a definite possibility that the TIE fighter swarm gets some sort of nerf, and I wouldn't imagine it to be on the TIE fighters themselves. I'd almost more imagine it to be on, what do you call it? I'd more imagine it to be on the gauntlet in that list. She can do it while stressed? Yes, she can do it even while stressed. Okay. Luke will definitely take an evade. Yeah, a lot of stuff has died. Duchess just has Luke in range 1. Jindin did not roll a lot of evades. She rolled basically nothing on defense, but still pumped out a lot of damage on attack. And Faroff just got targeted down by a lot Oh, Sevwall, that's sad. Luke, we'll be fine. Yeah. Realistically, you should have gotten half on Luke there. 2 hits, you would need 3 blanks, and even then he has 2 evades. And what we're going to see Benthic do now is 2 hard right and double evade. I think you have to go after Luke. Luke is your only option to actually win this game. I 100% see those bombers getting a slight nerf. I don't know how much they'll get hit, because realistically, the only person who flies that list is Innkeeper and Kylo Ren. Yeah, but Luke has to stay in range of center, Desi. He can't leave it or he'll lose 4 points and probably lose. Benthic's not going to stop and rotate because he's only on 3 HP and he needs the double mod evades or focus evade. If Luke's 3-bank left fits, which I'm not sure it does, I really like it here because then he could boost left again and try and get that the Planetary Sentinel. I mean, I agree, Matt. I'm just not sure. Oh, and he did call it. I thought you should have gone a little slower with that Planetary Sentinel, but not much to do about it. Luke is going to 3-bank. Might see an afterburner charge. I mean, I agree, Innkeeper is dominating all of Xing with it, but and I could be completely ignorant in saying this. I personally have beat that list, so I don't like it definitely is a good list. I just think it completely depends on how you engage it. Because if you engage it and you're already target locked from the boys, it becomes a monster of a list and impossible to kill. But I think if you even just take away the boys from the list, it becomes so much easier to fight. Less so than the bombers themselves. Well, I agree. Duchess will take another lock. Wish you had that focus. I mean, I think you spend the lock here because Luke's just going to 3 hard and afterburners. Luke is in range, but what we're going to see now is Luke is going to 3 hard, afterburners boost back in, and I don't know what Duchess does to keep Luke in arc. I mean, they have the 2k. He could 2k right here, but Personally, what I would like to see is them making ships more expensive or less expensive based on how much loadout you gave them. So, like, if I had a ship, like, we're just going to use Luke for example. He has what, 10 loadout, I think. If you wanted to put 15 loadout on him, he should just cost like a point or two more. But again, that's a lot more of managing and redesigning how X-Wing works. And I don't know that the design team wants to go through all that effort or is even capable currently of going through that amount of work. Because then you'd have to go through every single ship and think about, okay, if you add this amount of points, will it be broken at this part? And you'd have to lower the levels of each ship until you reached a point where when you're adding the loadout, it's still fair and balanced, which would be really, really hard to do unless you made a blanket statement saying, if you add 5 loadout, it costs a point more. But that leads to ships potentially being broken. Still, I think it would be a cool idea. I'm just not sure that it's a feasible idea. Buddy, Grudge is the one that forces rerolls on the bombs, right? Or is that Dread? I don't remember. Yeah, feedback ping is what I was saying about the boys. Like, if you remove the boys, they don't become nearly as scary. But feedback ping, with how many bombs and stuff they can lay down, makes them really strong. Yeah, you wouldn't have to tackle all the pilots at once, but if you were to slow release them, it would be a slow burn for a while. That just might have turned towards Benthic. I don't hate that. The ion bomb will save the guy from. Oh, you didn't want to rotate that way. Surely. Luke does the Talon roll. That's really interesting. I thought for certain he was gonna leave. I thought for certain he was gonna 3 hard and boost. Okay, he still does the boost. He still does the boost, but that was a lot more risky than it really needed to be. Because now Luke's gonna probably try to 2 hard in or 2 bank. That was a sad roll by Benthic. And a sad roll by the Planetary Sentinel. If he does a single damage here, which he most likely won't with that roll, he will. Luke is fine. This will be the last round. If he does not have Luke here, then he loses the game. If he half points Luke and also gets half pointed, I'm not sure where that puts him because the Planetary Sentinel is only worth, what, 8 points, so that would put him at 53, and then half points on Luke would put him at 51, so he would still lose just barely. Luke does have R4, so what I'm expecting to see from Luke is a 2 hard right, which I think you need to run for a block with the Planetary Sentinel, so Duchess can come in and do like a 1 hard behind him. Because what you can do with Duchess is boost 1 hard, and if you block him right around here, then you win if she can put a damage through. And if your Planetary Sentinel doesn't decide to roll jack shit on defense. If you're Luke, all you need to do is not get half pointed, and I think the only way to do that is to do a 2 bank this way and try and boost and just hope that you don't get blocked. Alternatively, you could 2 bank out this way, but that doesn't put you in a great position. Or you risk all of it for the biscuit and you do a 3 bank or a 3 hard to the right and just hope that you jump over the Planetary Sentinel. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. I think even just getting rid of the boys or making the boys increase price would make the list fine. Because the boys change everything about how you set up and how you try and engage the list to even begin with. And there's some lists, especially Republic lists, just arcs or B-wings go to joust his list and there's nothing they can do. The only way you beat Endkeeper's list is if you brought an ace list and can outmaneuver all the bombs. And or if you just joust better and he rolls bad and loses all his ships. But if you get caught in the bomb swarm, you're just gonna die. Yeah, or R2D2, but I think R2D2 only has 2 charges and it only works, what, once per round? Doesn't the SL Obi-Wan, the SOC Obi-Wan, have a droid that gets rid of bombs? I don't remember. Because you could run that and then you could run the R2D2 on Annie and you could potentially get rid of 4 bombs. So you successfully blocked Luke. You ionized yourself, but that doesn't matter. This is the last turn. Yeah, so that would be really good for him. This is a great shot for Duchess as well. It literally, if Luke half points this guy here and they don't kill Luke, then Andrew wins. And if they half point Luke, but the Planetary Sentinel doesn't get half pointed, then Sev wins. 1 crit. 2 blanks. Oh no, Sev. Wrong ship. You really hope to evade that shot at least. Alright. Luke spends the evade, takes 2. All up to Benthic now. It's 2. You need 2 paint. And he gets it! Planetary Sentinel rolls 2 hits into Luke, and Luke will live on 1. You won't quite get rid of him. But that will cause Sevwall to, in the last round, win the game 53-51. Yeah, Luke barely got the squiggle. You see, I don't know, because I only flown against the bomber list once. I don't have enough practice against it to know if it was just an off game or whatever. The way I went around dealing with all the boys is I pointed all my ships off the board, like I normally do, and then just turned them back on and shot the boy, and then went to the edge of the board and made like a big circle and forced him to hard commit onto me rather than me onto him. And I was playing a rebel list when I was doing this. It was Ahsoka, Luke, Jack Porkins, and an E-Wing. But he committed too hard and then went to swoop around, and I just flew away, avoided the bombs. They were stressed, and Luke just went in from the other side and slowly killed them all. Yeah, that might have been a better chance for Luke to not take the damage, but such a close option that you just don't know. Yeah, because he probably still would have gotten the points given up on him. All right, well, that is the game. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all later. Have a great night.